is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to discuss exactly what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs and how they can rectify it before they miss the playoffs. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, over 85% of you are still not subscribed to the channel. Please be sure to hit that red subscribe button and turn on notifications, as it will help us create more daily content for you. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Alright Nick, I didn't think that we would be in this position, but I think we have to address the elephant in the room, and that would be the Kansas City Chiefs falling out of favor in the NFL, sitting at 2-3 with the same record as the New England Patriots, and the Chicago Bears are sitting at 3-2. One has nothing to do with the other, but it's just an interesting perspective to take a look at where these teams kind of lie right now throughout the NFL. And I'm interested to figure out what is wrong with the Chiefs and how can we fix it.
Yeah, it seems like the Chiefs and the Chargers kind of did a role reversal this year, with the Chargers being a high-powered offense with the defense, the Chiefs just being a high-powered offense. A lot of the problems for the Kansas City Chiefs come on the defensive side of the ball. All over the field. We'll start with the defensive line. Chris Jones having injuries. He's been the most consistent player, but when he's not there, they're abysmal. They can't stop the run. They can't get pass rush on the quarterback. Frank Clark looks like a bust. Jarran Reed doesn't look good at all. I just don't know what is going on with this defensive line, but they've got to be the backbone for this defense if they're going to have any success.
Yeah, I agree, and I believe that Steve Spagnuolo has done an incredible job with the Chiefs up until this point. But Tyrann Mathieu, this defensive line, there's been a lot of question marks so far. Chris Jones has done a solid job. I'll give him a solid B, right? I think he can improve, but it's still early in the season. I expect some rough patches. Jarran Reed is MIA. I mean, they got this guy for a lot of money. They pried him away from Seattle, and he has done literally nothing. They were speaking about him like he's the second coming of Aaron Donald, and he hasn't been seen. I think I've seen his picture on milk cartons more than I have on highlight reels. So when I'm taking a look at the defense here, and that's what you're discussing, the linebacker position is atrocious, and we said that going in that this was going to be an Achilles heel. You talked about Frank Clark. This man has more penalties than he does actual attributes to the defensive progress that this team has. So I think, what is it that they can do right now to rectify this situation?
Yeah, it's really got to come internally. They've got to figure out a way to just be a more cohesive unit. Steve Spagnuolo's got to run a little bit more of a complex defense. He can't just run a basic coverage defense that's going to get picked apart left and right like they've been doing. You kind of just need to do a 180, because everything you're doing right now is wrong. It's not working. So flip the script, go to something else, because anything else is better. So you might as well try.
Yeah, no, I agree. And listen, I'm not going to spend the entire time talking about the defense. While they are mostly to blame, I gotta put some blame on Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. The offensive line, I mean, there is a lot of question marks here. They revamped this offensive line completely. Joe Thuney looks like he doesn't belong on this offensive line. He has struggled mightily, even against what the stats say. I watched him get blown up multiple times in their game against the Baltimore Ravens. I saw him struggle against the Buffalo Bills as well. I mean, there's a lot of issues here. He was supposed to be the stalwart that was going to rectify their offensive line woes, and on top of that, Orlando Brown Jr. does not look like he is athletic enough to be the left tackle that he so prominently wanted to be in Baltimore. So with that being said, Nick, what else on the offensive side of the ball can they rectify? What can they do? Do they need to bring in outside talent?
I think they already did with Josh Gordon. We got to see how that one plays out, but getting him one target and having him catch that one pass in his first game is just not enough. You gotta do more. It can't just be the Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce show. Those days are long gone because that has been together for years now. Defenses have figured it out. They've been stopped multiple times in the playoffs, and that's the script that a lot of teams are going by, how they were stopped in the playoffs, because that is the blueprint for how to stop them, and it has worked great so far. Patrick Mahomes has had some blunders, but he'll fix those. Tyreek Hill hasn't had the greatest of games, but he'll fix that. It's really got to come with the coaching staff getting other guys involved, getting Demarcus Robinson involved, getting Mecole Hardman the ball in short yarded situations, because we know he's electric with the ball in his hands. You got to figure out a way to spruce up this offense by changing it a little bit. You can't just run the same old offense and expect something better to happen, something different to happen. It just doesn't work like that. That's insanity. I think that they've got to get back to running the ball too. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, yes, he's hurt for the next few weeks, and that's unfortunate, but you got a more than capable running back in Darrell Williams. We saw him last season and how well he performed. He can do the same thing again. There's no reason that they need to be a full-fledged passing attack when you have a solid run game to work with.
Yeah, you mentioned it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's kind of what I'm seeing with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I want to ask you this question. One of the major pieces that they let walk out the door was Sammy Watkins at the wide receiver position. Now, I don't want to say that he was a world beater. I don't think he was the Sammy Watkins that we saw in Buffalo. He definitely wasn't the Sammy Watkins we saw in college. But he did provide a different presence, and I don't think Mecole Hardman has lived up to that. Do you believe that they are missing Sammy Watkins in this offense, and that's what's causing a lot of these issues?
Without a doubt. I said right away when Sammy Watkins signed with the Baltimore Ravens that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to pay the price for letting him walk out the door, because Sammy Watkins is a solid receiver, but Tyreek Hill is just that much better than him, and so a lot of people are going to say Sammy Watkins isn't that valued in Kansas City. He was a huge piece in giving Tyreek Hill those one-on-ones, those two-on-ones that he can work with. Travis Kelce getting his one-on-one matchups with the safeties. Sammy Watkins did a lot without having to do a lot, and you see that also happening with the Baltimore Ravens. Sammy Watkins helping out Hollywood Brown, helping out Mark Andrews. You see Lamar Jackson as a very capable thrower of the football because Sammy Watkins is there. He doesn't have to do a lot, but his presence is felt all over the field, and that is exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs are missing right now.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And listen, maybe Josh Gordon can take over that role and maybe he can help out in that situation. But the entire offense for the Chiefs has just been lackluster at best. And, you know, I mentioned it in our power rankings video, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. But Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels were both talking about how defenses are simply running a base cover 2 package, and they were stymieing Patrick Mahomes in this offense. They were getting pass rush with 4 players. They were able to double bracket Tyreek Hill with a safety over the top, and Travis Kelce was getting lost with 1 or 2 people around him. I mean, this is not the Kansas City Chiefs offense that has been so prolific in the past. They have a lot of work to do, and it starts at the feet of Eric Bieniemy. Before we go, I want to end on this. Nick, do you believe if these struggles continue for the Kansas City Chiefs that Eric Bieniemy will not get a head coaching job?
I don't believe that. I think that Eric Bieniemy has shown enough in his tenure with the Chiefs that he is more than deserving of a head coaching position. He's a guy that can be the difference maker for an offense. He's shown that he can take an offense all the way and win it all. A lot of the success the Kansas City Chiefs have had comes because of Eric Bieniemy and his genius ability to draw up plays on the fly. That is something that you don't find very often. A lot of teams looked over that fact, but I think they're going to revisit him next offseason and be like, what were we missing? Why didn't we choose Eric Bieniemy? Because he is a guy who can work with young quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, and make them into upcoming elite talent. There's a huge need for a guy like Eric Bieniemy, and it's only a matter of time until he's a head coach in the NFL.
Wouldn't it be something if Eric Bieniemy ended up with the Las Vegas Raiders, following all the John Gruden, being in the same division as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, running that same offense or a varied version of that offense? That would be something to watch for sure. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, what you've seen from them so far, and what you think they need to fix, how they can get right and get out of this losing record that they currently sit in. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.